Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, welcome back. Welcome back to Ecocentric. I have this recipe, cabbage roll casserole. Used to be called Lazy Man's Cabbage Rolls. 2 pounds of ground beef. I have this 2-pound boneless roast here that I'm going to grind up. 3.5 pounds of cabbage. We have to go to the garden to get that. 1 29-ounce can of tomato sauce. I have that there in the pantry. 1 cup of chopped onion, so we're going to go to the garden to get onion. 1 cup of uncooked rice. 1 teaspoon of salt. And 4 cups of beef broth, which we have to make up. There's some other harvesting to do in the garden when we go out. So I'm going to bring you out and we'll do the harvesting in the first part of this video. We don't need cucumbers for our recipe, but there's cucumbers here to be harvested, and we might as well go around the traditional path. Familiarity makes it easier to harvest things. See, I'll take that plant out of the way. So you see I've got 1, 2, 3, 4. There's actually 5 cucumbers right there. So I'll go inside. I have to go inside to get them. Gently move the foliage away. So that's those. I can't see any more there right yet that's big enough to be harvested. That's the 5 that I just pointed out. We need, what was it, 1 cup of onion? I might put 2 cups in there. Often says you have to follow a recipe directly. So I'm going to pick up this one. See the top had bent over on this one. I cut it off out here after it bent over. And this one here bent. It is a little funny. You see how it's green whereas the other ones are more white? While I'm here, I have 2 growing there right together. I'm going to pick that one as well. And you see there was another smaller one. I don't know if this will grow more now or not. But they're thinned out. I want to put some grated carrots in that casserole. So let's pick some carrots and see how big they are. It's a nice carrot, eh? I think I'll need at least 2. Oh, that was a stubby one. Take that one, even though it's a 3-in-1. I'm going to take 1 more carrot out. That one. When I did my walkabout, I thought, those 2 yellow straight neck, I should harvest them now before they start to get seed. 1 there. And 1 here. We need 3 pounds of cabbage. Oh, I got a cabbage loaf around this one. I don't think these cabbage, don't remember the name quite offhand now, but I don't think they grow any bigger than this. So it's time to cut it anyway. And it's a really nice firm head, eh? Now, I grew cabbage before. And I just cut it like that. And the next year, it sent out 3 shoots. And I had 3 smaller heads of cabbage. So that's what I'm going to do with that. And see what I got what I get next year. This one here is not much, but I'm going to pick it apart and see what I can salvage out of it. Remember, I need 3 pounds of cabbage. So I'm going to take those two and see if I have 3 pounds. If not, I'll come out and get this one. That's it in the bowl. Let's bring it in and put it on the table now. Here we are. Let's see how much these cabbage weigh before I pick them apart and take all the bad parts off them. That one is 717 grams, which is 1 pound 9 ounces. This one is 413 grams, which is 14 ounces. So I'm going to have to go out, and I might as well, because I know I'm not going to have enough, go out and get the other cabbage that's out there. There's 2 out there. There's one that is formed halfway sensible but not solid, and then there's another deformed one. I'll get those 2. But I have to bring those now in the next room and dunk them down in some water to, if there's any bugs left in there, to get them to crawl out. This one's all deformed, you see. But it'll still work as cabbage. So we got another 264 grams, which is another 9 ounces. And this one, he's smaller, and he's also soft inside, so it's not a hard head. That's another 9 ounces, 275 grams. Now, to get 3 pounds, I need somewhere around 1,400 grams, because I do everything in grams. And those 4, they come to 1669, so there will be some cut off the bad parts, so that should be good enough. I'm going to put these in some water. Maybe what I'll do first, then they'll fit down in that smaller pot. Now let's see about the onions. $603 grams. I need a little cloth to wipe things, back occasionally. Wonder how much this bigger one is. 294, which is 10 ounces. They're a sweeter onion. I wasn't expecting them to be so strong. A little over 2 cups actually. I think I'll cut up this funny looking one. I'll give these carrots a quick rinse. Guess I need another container to put the carrot. This one will do. I don't keep the carrot tops. I might try that someday, but for now I'll just continue with putting carrot tops in the compost. 513 grams. Should be 1 pound 2 ounces. So that's pretty much a pound of grated carrot I'm going to put in this casserole. Three cups maybe. Don't forget to collect your appropriate tools. If you want to save on money while buying in bulk, but this is a boneless roast, as I earlier mentioned. Traditionally, cabbage rolls, they would use beef, but you can use pretty much any ground meat you want. This is pork sirloin roast, boneless. It's $13.20 a kilogram, which has gone up in the past little while. I got it in the marked down bin, so I still got it for under $10 a kilogram. So we take that and put that back there somewhere. Nice sharp knife. This is pretty much shredded, what little bit that you'll get like that. I'll just pop that over there next door to clean in a minute. Now back to the cabbages. This is going to be a little bit tedious because of course these leaves I have to... Oh, I'm going to be wet too before this is all over. The cabbage head that was basically fully formed but badly eaten, I ended up throwing it all in the compost. So I had to go out and get some kale, a pound of kale that is. So we have our 2 pounds of ground beef, 2 pounds of chopped cabbage plus a pound of kale, our 29 ounces of tomato sauce, we're going to put in extra onion. It's called for 1 cup, and as you can see I got almost 4 cups here. Now I'm going to put in some extra stuff anyway because this is actually crushed tomatoes. When you do tomato sauce, then there's powdered onion and a few other things in there. So I might have to add extra salt as well, but I can do that. You can add salt after the fact, so that's not a problem. Our uncooked white rice, and just your regular salt, and I've got some water heating on the stove. I don't have beef broth made, so I have to use bouillon for this time and make beef broth that way. The oven is preheated to 350, and our next step is to take a large skillet and brown the ground meat. Got this pot here that just barely fits the water that I need to make the bouillon. So I'm supposed to put 1 tablespoon of mix in 1 cup of water. We've got 4 cups of water there. This is half a tablespoon. So I guess I need to put in 8 of these. Okay. I put a little bit of grease in there, so I don't want to just flop this because you see, when you buy a boneless roast and grind it yourself, you get a very lean ground meat for the same price as you would get regular ground meat at the grocery store. Even if you could get ground beef for the same price, it's better to get the boneless roast, in my opinion, because then you have less fat. See, the recipe says you brown your ground beef, and then you discard any of the fat that has liquefied in the bottom of the pan. But I'm not going to have any liquid fat to pour out of this. That bit of oil that I put in there is actually getting absorbed into the meat. Now, like I said, I bought this, but technically I could have ground up chicken and used it. Whoa, dear, dear, dear. I guess that's done. Give it a little stir. And then I would have meat right from my own land. Rabbits is another thing you can raise, of course, and then if you go hunting moose meat, that kind of thing, right? And I have to turn off that burner. Nice to have it broken up fairly fine when you're doing this kind of casserole. And I'll move that back off the heat as well. Take this bowl out of there, put that there, move this back. Now our next step, it says combine cabbage, tomato sauce, onion, rice, and salt in a large mixing bowl. We got this one, so we're putting in our cabbage. Now this looks like a lot, but as you might know, this stuff will settle right down when it's cooking. It'll compress right down to a fifth of its size at least. Here's the onion. And I'm going to put in my extra grated carrot. Tomato sauce. Honestly, I don't know how this is going to work. Put some salt in there. I might end up baking this in this bowl. And the rice. Is that one cup? Okay. And I'm supposed to stir in the cooked ground beef. Pour mixture into a 9 by 13 inch baking dish. No, that's not going to fit. I'm going to have to cook this down in this bowl. Pour in beef broth over the top, cover and bake in oven for 1 hour. And I'll cover it with aluminum foil. I'll put this in the oven now and we'll see what it's like in 1 hour. It's been 1 hour. Let's see what it looks like. Settled down, but not a whole lot. Supposed to give it a stir. Recover it. And put it back for another half an hour. Okay, it's been another half an hour. Looks like it might be all right. Yeah, that's perfect. What I'm going to do, turn off the oven. It does need a little more salt like I suspected it would, but that's okay. I'm going to do that. I'll put a little bit of salt on there and I'm going to grate some cheese and put on top. And that'll be perfect. The rest of this now, I'll let it cool down and I'll cover it again. Let it cool down, and when it cools down I'll separate it out into individual meals and put it in the freezer.